Hey everyone, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe to the RSS. Don't forget to turn on the notification button and comment as we talk about anything under the sun that can be sports centric. You're watching the RSS. Hi, welcome to the RSS with me, Rashid Salleh, and my ponytailed partner for now, Haresh Deol, also known as HD. We'll be talking a lot about probably current issues, especially this one for this episode. Yeah. We are going to be, I guess, discussing the one thing that's been talked about and is being talked about since like last year, December, and more of the case in January, and that's the coronavirus that's been going around in around the world, and more cases being popped up here in Malaysia as well. Is that true? Is that right?
Yep.
Now, first things first, Haresh, what is the coronavirus?
Okay. First and foremost, before we indulge ourselves into what coronavirus is all about.
Yeah, go on. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, go on. Tell me.
If you touch a Corona beer bottle or drink a sip of Corona beer, you will not get coronavirus.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I better tell my friends.
That's shocking, correct? Because
Yeah.
some people actually think,
I'll tell my Corona.
You will not turn into a flesh-eating zombie if you get the coronavirus. It's treatable.
Do you know where this rumor came from?
God knows. All these herbs and plants that you may have in your backyard, it's not really tested or proven that it can cure coronavirus.
What kind of herbs
can
are you
you
talking
please,
about?
God knows. So can you please get yourself checked with a proper, medical officer or a doctor?
Right.
And last but not least, coronavirus, this has to be my personal favorite. Coronavirus is not a makhluk halus with with a lot of legs and an ugly head. Yeah.
Like Corona Tiana. Okay, moving along. So this has affected a lot of events, especially sports events. Well, we'll talk about that a bit later. Yeah. However, like I said, what is the coronavirus? Because there's been a lot of information about it, but people are not very sure.
Correct.
What it's all about.
So let's go to what the World Health Organization has said. Coronavirus, viruses, in fact, are a large family of viruses that are zoonotic, meaning they are transmitted between animals and people. Common signs of infection include respiratory symptoms, fever, cough, breathing difficulties, and in most severe cases, we are looking at pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, kidney failure, and death. The standard recommendations to prevent infection spread include regular hand washing, covering your mouth, and nose when coughing.
Actually,
and sneezing.
Before you said that, I actually watched a video just recently that they were testing the distance of people when they cough.
Yeah.
And they said that even if you cough with your mouth closed, you still get saliva coming out, and it goes to about 80 meters or something like that. Okay. Even if you cough like open mouth, it goes much further. The one thing that you use when you cough that won't go anywhere. Tissue.
Or better still, a handkerchief.
I actually have one.
How many of you actually carry one?
Not many of us, because the rest are all very old school. In fact,
it's oh gosh, he's actually thinking of his.
I have a handkerchief which I actually carry in my back pocket, my back right pocket. If anyone wants to use it, usually nowadays my son will use it because he likes to cough. My daughter will use it as a headgear. Anyway, moving along.
So we now know how old Rashid is. But anyway,
not that old.
Okay, thoroughly cook your meals, especially meat and eggs, and avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illnesses.
Right.
So if someone is coughing or sneezing next to you,
move away.
Or
just say, can you cough with a handkerchief or a tissue?
Now it's time for handkerchiefs to come in trendy.
Right. Okay. So those are the symptoms, or at least the explanation for coronavirus. Now, we've had a lot of events that are being considered to be cancelled.
Correct.
There are events who are already being cancelled. Tell us a bit about that and why.
Why the reason is obvious because these events are determined by the governments, respective governments of the various nations. Now, obviously, governments would like to limit the number of people gathering at one particular avenue, and of course, ever since the outbreak was made public, many nations are now controlling their borders and tightening their borders. So what we are seeing is the restriction in movement of athletes and also officials, especially from mainland China. So that has really disrupted quite a number of meets, including the World Athletics Indoor Championship. It's scheduled in March 13 and 15, but it's postponed until perhaps next year. The Asian Athletics Association has cancelled its February 12 to 13 indoor championships in Hangzhou. Badminton, we've got the March 1 China's Masters, which in Hainan, which has been postponed. In football, the Chinese Football Association said domestic games at all levels will be postponed. Even in Vietnam, the Vietnam Football Federation has postponed its Super Cup, which is the kickoff of the 2020 season.
Yep.
And the list continues. Now, some people even say that this will threaten the preparation towards Tokyo Olympics, which begins in July.
That's right. That's not far away, is it?
Correct.
Yeah.
But however, Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan, has pacified concerns, saying that Japan is well prepared for the Olympics. So while it may threaten the preparation of the athletes, but as for the Olympics, it should be in okay.
This could be a very interesting year, because if the Olympics does carry on, but it won't have any Chinese athletes, it might also not have any Russian athletes, because one's been banned for drugs and the other has been down by sickness of a virus. So it could be interesting. Malaysia could have qualified for something, and actually we could win a gold medal in diving. That could be a massive possibility, because Pandalela Renong is and of course the other girls have a big chance of winning. So this could, we could actually say, hey, remember when we couldn't go in 1980 for football? We could actually, reverse psychology now. We could actually win something because China's out and so is Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will only happen in Russia's world.
You never know. Like I said, Russia being banned for doping across across the board is already a big issue. Now we've got this coronavirus. Some people are saying that the virus will peak in April.
April and May.
I don't know whether that's rumor or that's facts. I mean, it's
research has been done, and yes, a university professor actually said that, saying that it will, based on his calculation, it will peak in about April or May and expect to decline by June, July.
Now, on the home front, back home here in Malaysia, we've got the Football League.
Yeah.
As you know, we've got new cases coming up of people being infected by the coronavirus. Does that mean that we have to be very careful about holding events in Malaysia? I mean, for MASMA, the Malaysia Mixed Martial Arts Association, we may still go ahead with our, because the local organisers saying, should we carry on? And we said, we shouldn't really, it's like the government saying, don't close the borders, except for the Hubei province. We're saying, don't stop the fights, because you don't really want to close everything off, and then, it's very depressing in that sense.
No, I agree to a certain extent, because we need to see, at the end of the day, it's based on the directives of the Health Ministry. So they are pretty much in charge of this whole thing. So if they believe that there is a need for schools, for sports associations to stop all activities, then I think we should all adhere to that. But if there's no specific instruction by the health authorities, then I think that sporting events can continue. However, I've asked this question as well to the FA of Malaysia. Will there be steps taken by the host teams? Let's say, for example, if a match is being played in KL, and will KL officials will then be, will they give out masks or even, sanitizers to the fans? So these are steps. Why I'm saying this is because commuters and public transportation systems, like the LRT, for example, they are being given out. Masks are being handed out. And it's the same with the other Grab in Singapore, for example. Their practicing the same thing as well. So what steps are being taken? So that's a question that we need to ask the organisers, including the FA of Malaysia, since the league is going to start on February 28th.
Well, that also affects the Asian Football Confederation, the
Yes,
AFC Cup,
yes, yes.
the Champions League, because there's a lot of travel, and as we know, apart from one airline being investigated, the travel for even Cathay Pacific, for example, the Hong Kong airline, they're telling their staff to go on unpaid leave for 3 weeks.
Correct.
So, and if that's one of the biggest airlines that serves China, imagine the rest of the airlines that are still commuting in between within the region.
No, in fact, thanks for pointing the AFC Champions League out, because there was an emergency meeting in Kuala Lumpur recently at the AFC headquarters, and the gist of the meeting, it was not so much about football, but it was more about the immigration laws. It's about the health authorities, directives from the respective nations, because the standards seem to differ from one nation to another. Australia seems to be very strict in allowing people in and out at this moment. However, it's pretty much more relaxed in other nations, you see. So we have to be mindful of that. We have to be mindful of the local tournaments that's going on as well. Like the AFC Champions League, for example, you can't just postpone a match because the same teams are actually participating in the domestic leagues. So the domestic leagues, then you can't just alter the schedule. There'll be a big mess. Also, like for the Japanese teams, for example, if they were to host their opponent in Japan, they must ensure that it is at a stadium which will not be involved in the Olympics. If it's going to be involved in the Olympics, then they should do it 30 days. There's a cut-off. 30 days before the Olympics, they have to hand it over to the organisers. So yeah, there are a lot of matters to look at, and like you pointed out earlier, the airlines as well. Quite a number of airlines have actually stopped, flying in and out to certain areas. So traveling is a problem as well. Yeah.
Well, on that note, I just hope that everyone stays hydrated. That's the most important thing. Drink lots of water. Stay healthy. Wear bright shirts like this beautiful Amnig shirt that he's wearing, so that you can be seen in case you start coughing. So people make sure they'll stay away from people like Haresh. But the shirt itself, Amnig, is a very, very amazing Athlesuire jersey. Why are you looking at me like that? It's a brilliant shirt. Thank you very much, Amnig, for sponsoring us on the RSS, as well as MKCC, the MK Community Centre, for giving us this lovely, lovely studio as well. Now, on the final note, please drink lots of water. Please, as much as you can. And my wife tells me all this. Wash your hands daily. When you come back home, wash your hands, soap it, sanitize, and make sure, especially if you have children, make sure they're kept clean and safe as well. From us at RSS, it's been really good talking about this, albeit short. Do give us your comments below. Subscribe to us. Don't forget to press the notification button, and also let us know what you'd like us to talk about, and we'll probably skew it to a sports-centric conversation. That's Haresh Deol. I'm Rashid Salleh. You've been watching the RSS.